today we'll be discussing Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. Lord of Shadows is the second book in the Dark Artifices series trilogy by Cassandra Clare. I cannot tell you what this particular book is about because, like I said, it is the second book in the trilogy, and for this particular trilogy you need to read a lot of books to be able to get to it, because it is sort of a sequel trilogy onto another onto another series, and there's a lot of books in this world, so you need to read them in a specific order for you to understand what's happening and to catch every reference to other books in the world. This video will also have some vlogs of me reading Lord of Shadows, because I did do a few. I'm gonna have this section, like I'm gonna talk about this book a little bit spoiler free, then I'm gonna get into spoilers, and then I'm gonna show you the few videos that I filmed when I was reading it. Cassandra Clare is a very is an author that has a very unique sort of writing. Her writing is very, I guess it's what you would consider flowery, because I've heard this term go around. Personally, it's really to my taste. I really like how she sets a scene and describes things and characters. Yeah, I've been familiar with her writing for a long time, because I started reading City of Bones when I was like, I don't know what, 12? 13, and I've loved it since then. As an author, you really evolve, and you either become better or worse at it. I don't think that she's putting less of an effort in anything. I think that she really puts her like 100%, and at least in this book it really showed, because in my opinion this book is one of her best. I think her worst books are, you might be angry about this, Clockwork Angel, City of Ashes. Those were the only books that I gave 3 stars to. Everybody has a different taste, and I've heard from like so many people that Lady Midnight was like her best book, and you shouldn't read the Mortal Instruments or the Final Devices, you should just start with the Dark Artifices, and I'm like, no. No, there's no way I would tell anyone to do that. I found a lot of issues in Lady Midnight, actually. Like, it was not one of my favorite Cassandra Clare books at all. I did give it 4 stars on Goodreads, but I had a lot of complaints about it, and it's mostly things like I did not connect with the characters. Going into this book, I actually did not expect to adore it. Like, I expected to like it as much as Lady Midnight, and I was hoping that I would like it a little bit more, because I was just thinking that, you know, it would be nice if this was better than Lady Midnight, and I would actually, you know, proudly give it 5 stars, and that's exactly what happened. This was so much better than Lady Midnight, in my opinion. I gave this 5 stars and I did not even think about it. Like, I did not even think about it. When I went on Goodreads and it asked me for my rating, I was like, oh yeah, 5 stars, definitely. Like, everything in this book was so well calculated. Like, the right thing was at the right page. Like, it was all so well constructed, and the issues I had with Lady Midnight are gone in this book, completely gone. My tripod keeps falling, so I had to kind of change the angle so that it would stay stable and I can film. But as I was saying, I really enjoyed the family dynamics in this. Like, in this trilogy, I feel like the main point is the family, the Blackthorns, and how much of a deep bond all these siblings have between them. And I feel like it's honestly it's so beautiful that it focuses on so much on familial love. With the couples, I did not have a big problem with Julian and Emma this time around. and this is not a spoiler, but you know, even when you go into Lady Midnight, you know that the deal with this trilogy is that there's two parabatai that fall in love with each other, and that is like really, really bad, because your parabatai is supposed to be like your platonic soulmate, and if you do fall in love with each other, that's like against the law. And I was not really into it in Late Midnight, but I was into it in this one. Not too much. There are couples that I like a little bit better than Julian and Emma, but I like it. Like, I get it. Like I said, all the problems, all the issues that I had with Late Midnight, characters. There were so many, and I could not really bond with the characters. Maybe it's the fact that I've gotten like used to them a little bit after reading Lady Midnight, but in this book I felt so much more invested in them and how well they are and what they're doing. This was like a very big pro to me. Like, it was such a positive thing. I really loved Kieran's character in Lady Midnight. I know that a lot of people didn't. I just feel like he was the most heartbroken character in Lady Midnight, and so we do see him again in Lord of Shadows, and he is still like my baby. I love how everything was handled. I love how there was more mystery introduced, but I kind of feel like there's too many things to be answered in Queen of Air and Darkness. I did see though that it was like the biggest book Cassandra Clare has written. I was really blown away by this book, and it really reminded me of how much love I have for Cassandra Clare's writing. Let's jump into some spoilery talk. First of all, when Cassandra Clare had the idea that they could go to the London Institute for Sanctuary, thank you, like, also thank you, but also, why did you hurt me like this? There was like so many mentions of Will. We actually interact with Jessamine, and I was like shaking and crying. Like, I could not believe that we were back in the London Institute from the Infernal Devices, and that we were talking to Jessamine with all these new characters, and it was like, it was coming for a circle, like for everything, and it was so amazing to read. I want to mention like how much of an awesome character Kit is. I was like, this kid is a treasure. It might have to do with the fact that he is a Herondale, and I have a weak spot for Herondales. Kid is just such a fun kid. Like, there was a quote in this book that he was like, all these hot people have kidnapped me and they don't let me go get my stuff. We follow so many things and so many plot points, but one of them is the fact that Kit is a shadow hunter, and he doesn't really know how to deal with this fact. He doesn't know if he wants to stay with all these people that, you know, are basically strangers to him. It was just really, really wonderful to see him go from this really confused and helpless boy into a person who's accepting that they are a shadow hunter, someone who's accepting their identity, finds out where they belong. Wonderful to see the little interactions between him and Ty. I really adore the dynamic. And I do know that Wicked Powers is supposed to be the sequel trilogy to this trilogy that's gonna come out in the future. So I think we do know that the main couple of the Wicked Powers will be Kit and Ty. I had not really like noticed or understood that Ty is autistic. It's like a sort of observation from Kit in this book. I do find the fact that Cassandra Clare writes as much diversity as she can really inspiring. And there was also a transgender character in this book. Her name was Diana, and when we found out about her backstory and why she doesn't want to be the head of the Los Angeles Institute, I was like, oh my gosh, you poor soul. And like, I found her romance with Whip so cute. Like, they were so cute together. Like, they're on the little date, and when he discovered that she was transgender, like, he was so understanding and compassionate. Like, Thank you, that was adorable. When we got a little glimpse of Helen and Aline in the end of the book, I was like, yes, thank you. More? Can we have more content about Helen and Aline? Let's jump into the real big thing here for me, because like I said, Kieran was my favorite character in Lady Midnight. And he was like treated like trash. Listen, I love Mark, but like, dude, I was just so sad for Kieran. And we do have Christina in Lady Midnight, and I was like, I did not really care for Christina. Lord of Shadows made me like really reevaluate Christina and kind of like really change my opinion on her. She's a queen and we stan. Loved her all the more when she was there for Kieran, and she was like, he's so alone, he has nobody, he is like, we're using him, and I loved her for that. God, can someone be there for my little Kieran? Like, can we just please hug him and adore him because he's precious? I really support the whole thing about Mark, Christina, and Kieran. In the Infernal Devices, well, Tessa is polyamorous, at least in my head. Definitely she is polyamorous because she loved them both. But like it's so much more obvious in Lord of Shadows between these three, and I love it. I'm here for it. Like, I am absolutely here for it. And I did not think that I would be, because I was thinking that like Christina and Kieran might, like, I don't know how that's gonna work, but it wasn't forceful at all. Like, I could totally see it, and that's why I loved it so much. We can obviously see that Mark still loves Kieran. Like, he lied to Gweep about not going to save him, and like 10 seconds later he vanishes into thin air to go save Kieran. I hope it's how they end up in Queen of Air and Darkness, because I cannot have Mark and Kieran broken up again. Kieran, I understand you, child, like I was so hurt for you the entire book, but please don't break up with Mark. Like you said that you were gonna be like done with each other. Like, no, please, no. Like, no. If I had to choose, I would choose Mark and Kieran, but like Mark, Kieran, and Christina, I think I am done with like talking about the romance. Jesus Christ, we need to talk about this ending because it was so fucked up. Annabelle Blackthorne, who's like back from the dead, and she kills Malcolm because apparently he didn't die the first time. Fucking starts killing people. She kills Robert Lightwood, and then she kills everyone who tries to come near her and take the sword from her. She kills Livy, and then in the end she goes poof, because obviously the Unsilly King is in his court thinking, looking at this and being like, ha ha ha, evil laugh. Magnus has this fucking illness out of fucking nowhere. If you kill Magnus, that's like killing the entire series. Like, that's the end. It's like he's been in every book. I'm definitely thinking that he's gonna survive, but what the fuck. The Unsilly King, the Lord of Shadows. So I think there's some sort of secret there. When Drusilla went into Fairyland and she saw a guy and he had white hair and green eyes, and he told her, did my mother send you? And they were like about the same age, and Drew is 13. Is this the son of Sebastian and the Seelie Queen? Is this what I think it is? I am thrilled with this idea. Thrilled. That might be it. Like, they say that there's like a big secret in the courts, so is it the fact that there's Morgenstern child? Oh my god. If this is true, it's gonna be so epic. I really don't know what's gonna happen. Like, it ended like in such abrupt note with the death of Livy. Well, you're gonna see what I was like because I filmed it right after I read it, so you're gonna see me like crying. I'm gonna let you enjoy the little clips. Hello. This is probably like a really bad idea because I haven't done vlogs for such a big part of this book. I am at page 472 and I adore this. Like, I am so here for the polyamorous relationship. Oh my god, they are amazing. I love them. I love everything in this book so far. So you know when you have like less than 100 pages left in a book and nothing is resolved? That is exactly what I'm feeling right now. I'm reading the last chapter and it is so stressful. They are in this meeting in Idris and I'm so scared that things are gonna go terribly wrong. I'm literally like reading the last pages, so I am so scared. I knew it. I knew it. Things have started going crazy. Someone just died and I think there's gonna be a lot more people dying right now, and there's 10 pages left. Oh shit. I think I need to start counting the amount of times Cassandra Clare has left me crying, you know, finishing one of her books. That escalated too fast. Like, that was not 0-100, that was sub-zero 1 million. Thank you for watching. Leave me a comment down below about what you thought of Lord of Shadows. Maybe what was your favorite scene, what's your favorite couple in this trilogy. Let me know what your favorite Cassandra Clare book is. And I will see you all in the future. Till then, have a good day or a night wherever you are, y'all. Bye!